So the Jacko patch came out a little while ago. Actually, it's been quite a while. And now that I've had enough time to digest the patch notes, I'm back to kind of give you guys a bit of a guide to the changes for Axel. Even though there's only 2 changes, these changes address some of the problems Axel has had and add some pretty cool stuff to his gameplay. First, let's go over the changes. So Axel's snail got a little bit faster on startup in order to combo from 5p and 2p, and Axel can now cancel his specials into both the activation of one vision and the actual hit of one vision. These changes don't seem to change much from the surface, but they actually address some of Axel's core problems as a character. First, let's tackle the buffed startup on Snail, or 214H. This is actually extremely good for Axel because it can now combo from 5k at tip range. This means that he can often punish -6 frame moves that have lots of pushback, like for example Leo's 236S, Potemkin's Hammer Fist, Anji's low follow-up off of Fujin, Ino's S-stroke the big tree, and some other moves I may have missed. This might seem pretty insignificant, but before this patch, even though Axel got a true punish with 5k, it didn't lead to anything unless you had meter. This meant that you were still left in your opponent's face after punishing a move which isn't where you want to be as Axel. Because of this change, Axel can meterlessly punish these moves and put them full screen, allowing him to start up his zoning. As a zoner with very few defensive options, being able to capitalize off of any opening and getting Axel another chance at life is huge. Being able to combo off of 5p, 2p with Snail is also huge. You can now punish Nagoriyuki's 5h, 6h with either 5p or 2p, and even Kai's Dire Clot. As a side note, Axel's 5k is his go-to mash move. So in situations like Soul 5s'ing you over and over again, he can challenge with 5k and put Soul full screen. Whereas in some cases, Axel could do this before, but his 2D would whiff. Now let's talk about his next change, being able to cancel one vision from any special. This is pretty good because it buffs his meter damage off of specific hits. The ability to do Rensen S into one vision and still get time stop is huge because it means that he can add a TK bomber to the combo. So when getting 2S counter hit anti-air or 5p anti-air, you can tack on huge amounts of damage for 50 bar. Rensen S into one vision is also hit confirmable, meaning that if the opponent fails to dash block or doesn't block on a wake up, you can blow them up, literally. Axel can do one vision off of Winter Mantis or half circle forward H, which buffs his pseudo 50-50. After a Snail Ender, you can typically melee with Rensen, but you can also do command grab, and it will catch people sleeping at the wheel. With this buff, his 50-50 gets a huge payoff as long as you have 50 meter. Before the patch, some people complained that Axel didn't deal that much damage in comparison to the rest of the cast. Me personally, I thought Axel damage was fine, even compared to characters like Soul, Mei, and even Ram. He's a soner after all, so he doesn't need to blow you up for half your life just because you messed up once. But they gave him this buff regardless, and now his damage is incredible. While you won't be able to blow up someone with close S, you don't really need to. Most of Axel's hits come from anti-air 2S or maybe counter hit 2H, both of which lead into Rensen S, which means that you can one vision into TK Bomber. This adds so much damage and it makes it much more riskier to jump in or press a button against Axel. As a side note, being able to set up one vision more easily seems good at a glance, but I'm not sure how the change will benefit him in the long run. While being able to whiff punish anything from full screen for the next 5 seconds seems really good, the opponent can just play defensively and wait it out. However, because they are playing defensively, Axel can take advantage and gain back some space or go on the offense. But because you're typically going to be activating off of his specials, all of which push back the opponent to neutral on hit, means that he will already have the space that he needs. I could see this being used to convert off of an instant overhead, but he really only gets to do that if the opponent's already in the corner. And at that point, using the meter for an RC might be better, since if the opponent blocks the 50-50, you can just RC away and be safe. Either way, we'll see a lot more one vision in matches. Overall, these buffs add more damage to Axel's general game plan, but also rewards players for smart play. Being able to punish certain characters and get them off of him to be able to play at his optimal range is a huge buff for Axel. Axel typically struggles against characters that can get in easily on him and apply very good pressure. The Snail change makes those matchups a bit more manageable and gives him some more breathing room. The one vision change allows Axel to keep up with the high damage characters and put some more damage behind its mix-up game. Well, that's it for now. Let me know if you guys like this more in-depth review on patch notes. I'll probably do this again for the October patch. Anyways, bye-bye.